Pac-12 South lead hangs in the balance. USC heads to Tempe to take on a surging Arizona State team. Last week the Rails were completely blown off of whatever was left of the Trojans' college football playoff hype train. Arizona State is a 4-3 team that struggled to beat New Mexico State, went 2-3, and then had two huge wins against two tough opponents. This game will go a long way towards determining who wins the Pac-12 South, and eventually could end up as the de facto Pac-12 South championship game. Both schools also find themselves at crossroads headed in very different directions. The Sun Devils have the opportunity to be a contender and not just a struggling team on a hot streak. The Trojans, on the other hand, can either get their season back on track or completely unravel. 2017 Game 9, USC vs ASU. Can the Trojans bounce back from devastation? The Trojans were battered by Notre Dame a week ago, ending their playoff chances with barely a fight. The Trojans had been teetering on the edge all season long with turnovers, bad play calling, inconsistent execution, and injuries. They managed to go 6-1 against a tough schedule and self-inflicted errors. Notre Dame, however, exposed all of their flaws for the entire world to see. USC coaches and players have consistently reiterated all week that their Pac-12 goals are still in front of them and that they still control their own destiny. Unfortunately, it has been made clear both inside the program and out that the goal is a national championship, not another 10-win season or a Pac-12 South championship. After getting exposed in such a decisive and demoralizing blowout loss to a rival on national television, the Trojans must now find a way to regroup mentally and physically and refocus their efforts on winning the Pac-12. It will not be easy for a Trojans team that has failed to correct the same problems we see every week and has failed to show consistent improvement from game to game. It will be even harder if anyone in the program feels as though the season is lost or that they are merely playing for a consolation prize to salvage the year. USC football, back to work. Can ASU continue to prove they are a legit Pac-12 championship contender? The Sun Devils were picked to finish towards the bottom of the conference. Their coach seemed to be all but fired, and divisional relevancy at this point in the season seemed unlikely. The Sun Devils started off rough at 2-3 with narrow wins over Oregon and New Mexico State. Their losses were not exactly ugly, losing to Texas Tech and Stanford on the road by a touchdown, and a 10-point loss to SDSU at home. Head coach Todd Graham had brought in new offensive and defensive coordinators, but not much had seemed to change or improve. Many were openly wondering if the Sun Devils should just bite the bullet and fire Graham right away. Many inside the ASU program actually felt that the 2-3, at the time, Sun Devils were actually better than the 5-1 ASU team from a season ago. The offense in particular was showing signs of growth even in defeat. Then the Sun Devils had a seriously productive bye week and things began to change. First they upset playoff contender and top 5 team with a 13-7 win over the Washington Huskies. Then they went on the road to thump the Utah Utes by 20, whereas USC needed a bit of a break to survive the Utes at home. The Sun Devils have an opportunity to go from hoping for bowl eligibility to having a clear path to the Pac-12 championship game. They are no longer the scrappy underdog, nor are they outside of the spotlight. Can the Sun Devils continue their winning ways, or will the stage be too big for them?